Hello guys, this is FX Bright here, the trade guru. So on this video, I want to show you guys how to do the top-down analysis with ease. This is going to be the best video you've ever seen on how to analyze the market from the highest to the lowest time frame. Now the first thing you want to do is that when you open your chart, for instance, this is a volatility 10 chart. You want to go to the highest time frame. Let's say in this case, let's go to the weekly time frame. Of course, you can go to the monthly, but I like to start my top-down analysis from the weeklies because then I have more data in the weeklies. So the first thing you want to do is that once you open the weekly time frame, you're going to allow it to load, right? So you're going to allow the market. You're going to allow the market load up all the data that is possible on that time frame. So what we're going to do at this point, that you're going to look at the place where price is right now. So the next thing you want to do is that you want to understand the movement of the market up to the point where it was going and try to figure out what pattern the market was making. Now listen, it's very important you understand what I'm talking about. Now this is where the market is right now. Let me zoom in a little bit. This is where the market is right now, yeah? So what I'm saying is that you're going to have to understand the movement of the market all the way to this point. In other words, I tend to tell my students that price moves in patterns, and in most cases price moves in channels. So what price is trying to do is that from this point to this point, price was forming a type of structure. So what you're going to do is that you're going to try to understand that structure and isolate it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put up my trend line and I'm going to try to isolate price in a channel, right? Because from the obvious look of things, you can see that the market is moving in some kind of channel. Now listen, this is very important. Now how I like to draw my channel is that once I draw the first line, I draw the second line and I make sure that the second line is parallel to the first one. Then I just transfer it down. So what you can see is that I've been able to box this side of the market in this channel. So what the market is doing is that the market is hitting the top of the channel, coming down, hitting the top, coming down, hitting. So I expect the market to keep going down in this manner. So for now, what we can see remember, this is the weekly time frame. This is not where I'm taking the trade from, but I'm trying to understand the movement of the market in this weekly time frame. So what we can see at this point is that the price has gotten to the top of the channel, right? So I'm going to zoom in a little bit. You can see price has been able to get to the top of this channel, and in this top of this channel, you're going to, at every time price gets to the channel, you're going to look to the left of your market. What you're going to find here is that price has been made. This place is a very good support area and also some resistance area around this zone. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take out my rectangle tool and just draw a line to try to capture this support area. So from the moment price was able to, from this point, get to this point, I already know at this point we are supposed to be expecting this market to sell down all the way to the bottom of the channel. So you can see the first thing I was able to do was to find the channel which price was moving. Then I found a very strong support area or resistance area around that zone. And once price has gotten to this point, I know that from this place henceforth, price ought to be selling. Remember, this is still the weekly time frame. I'm not going to trade here, but I just want to have a bias of the market. So for now, I know that the market should start selling from this point. So my bias from the weekly time frame has changed to selling. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the daily time frame, and also in this daily time frame, remember, daily time frame is still the same weekly time frame, but more data, right? So what I'm going to do in this daily time frame is also I'm going to find also the channel or the pattern price is using to get to this top place. For instance, price was here, so price has gotten here, but what pattern did price use to get to this top place? Now when I look at this place, that's why you have to train your eyes. What you can see, I'm going to draw it now. What you can see price was doing is that price formed a kind of structure around this side. So what I'm trying to do is I'm touching this point, this point, this point, and you can see how price formed a type of structure. Even when price has gotten to this top and started coming down, it had to respect this line. So you can see price is forming a structure. Remember, this is still the daily time frame. I'm not yet taking my trade, but I'm trying to understand the movements of the market. So I'm going to make that place like a channel. I'm going to put this one here just to ensure it's parallel. Now I'm going to transfer it to the top. Now when I transfer it to the top, you can see it just fits in perfectly well. So price was able to make a little breakout bounce, and now price has come into, and now price is still here. Remember, I'm still in the daily time frame. I want to take my trade somewhere around the 4 hours time frame, but I'm just using these people to understand I need to sell. Remember, my bias right now is to sell because the weekly time frame says sell. So right now I want to sell, but how am I going to sell? I now try to go to the daily time frames to understand the pattern price was using. So then I'm going to go to the 4 hours time frame now. Now I'm in the 4 hours time frame. I'm just going to delete this red line so everything is looking clear. Now look at this. Now this is the 4 hours time frame. You can see the 4 hours has already started trying to form a downtrend, but it has to break this particular one. So what's going to happen? When am I going to start trading this market for a sell? What I'm going to expect this market to do is that once I look at this particular place, I can find out here that the market is hitting a very good support zone somewhere around here, right? So what I want this market to do is I want this market to break through this place, make another retest, then somewhere around here I'm going to be taking my sell. So I'm just trying to show you guys how to do the top down analysis. Remember, I started doing this from the weekly time frame. I got to the daily time frame. I go to the 4 hours time frame. Remember, all you're trying to look for is the pattern price is using to move. Immediately price is able to find the pattern price is using to move. In this case, you can see the channel. Remember, my bias from the weekly is already to sell. So what I'm going to be looking for is for price in the lower time frame to break the least structure. So once it does this in the 4 hours time frame, breaks, makes a retest, then somewhere around here I will be taking my trade. So guys, I don't want this video to be very long, but I hope you understand. I'm going to be making more videos on how to do the top down analysis, especially if you trade in forex, synthetic indices, volatility and all that. Crash and boom, you're going to be able to trade these with precision. So guys, my phone number is on the description of this channel. If you want to WhatsApp me, please do. I will, in case you want mentorship or something like that. So guys, I hope this video was helpful. I will see you guys in my next video.